So this is my morning float pool. It's like an isolation tank, except salt water and a pool. But it's very isolated out here. There's no sound, and so there's no difference between it and one of those like closed off rooms. Besides maybe less light. But it's super fucking nice for like meditation. It's that the state you get to in meditation is the just decrease in external stimuli. Like if you meditate long enough, that's where you go to, and that's where your brain starts to let go of more, and you're able to enter new waves of thought, more like REM, more like a lucid dreaming style thing. And so I don't think that that's commonly thought about in meditation, how it's basically, you know, if you want to more so maximize those states of mind, this is why this is very powerful. The other side of it is that's exactly what hallucinogenics do in their max amount, is if you're on a bunch of shrooms, you will eventually not exist in this realm, which is why it's such a good release for people's minds. It's able to let go, in a sense. Pen that I was experimenting with, and then doing my float, which I kind of want to make a time lapse of. I'm gonna float again. I'm gonna hold on to some thoughts. I need to write a couple thoughts down first. I guess I can just speak them. The things that I was thinking about was, one, it was just funny because my arms were like this, and I was thinking of Jesus, and then I was thinking of religions, and then I was thinking of my first ever acid trip ever, where I had the very deep thought of, holy shit, there's gonna be a new global religion on the internet. Because the internet is like a whole new, it's its own cloud nation. Every nation needs a glue, some defining piece where everyone goes with, yeah, I agree about that. That is gonna be the most powerful thing in the fucking world. In the fucking world. Is the spawn of a new world religion. That will completely disrupt shit. As it grows, other ones will pop up and grow. It will become a race. Because the world races for power in a sense. But then again, I think it'll be more like, I don't think it will be a race. When it comes to this sort of business, it's more like a Bitcoin coming online. It's not really a race. There's just gonna be copycats. Because the real core of what makes Bitcoin interesting is the core technology of building a ledger. And I think the core technology of religion is to give people faith. And so we've had tons of ledgers throughout time. And what Bitcoin did was made a digital ledger with kind of the best version you can make right now. It's online, it's decentralized, great. So obviously people are gonna rename that ledger technology and make it do somewhat different stuff, but it's not really gonna be bigger than the original one. And that is to say that if religion's technology is giving people faith or hope, then if you made a revolutionary leap forward in that tech, an end state to the tech, that can't really be beat, you will have other people use that similar technology, but they obviously can't go above it. And this is just kind of explaining, I do think the farthest you can get towards the technology of spreading faith and good vibes, because that is a purely informational thing. Basically, this is a technology, but it's a technology which is limited to an explanation of language. Like language needs to explain why you need to have faith. And so what's the best tech? What's the most condensed version of that? Like what is the shortest way to put it? Spread good vibes. Every other thing which is about making the world better and doing all these different things It's just explaining more about why you should. Stories that we can attach to and believe in. And that's why it is so fascinating to me. When I was younger, when I was religious for a little bit, like full on religious, church camp, on my knees, prayer to Jesus, I'm giving my life to God. That felt fucking great. There's no more better of a sustainable drug than that feeling. It was the best vibes in the world. It was literally, wow, I have a creator who is looking after me, and all my mistakes I can see as a part of a grander plan. Everything has deep purpose and meaning, and I am able to help people, and all of that matters. An extreme feeling of all of that matters, you know? It's like, there's a reason this shit's so powerful and it's been so widespread. I think when I really think about it and meditate and do my different stuff, I really realize, I've been thinking about this for 6 years at least. Not where I'm at now with it, but simply my original acid trip opening me up to the idea of making global impact, of making unreal global impact, of basically holy shit, I could be a character, if I want to, I can be an Elon Musk. Before that was just more so jealousy, envy, those were the feelings I had. It was oh damn, they did that, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have that, I can't do it. Acid trip is holy shit, everything makes sense. All of my actions in the past led me to here, and if I took different actions, then I could go to here. Each action I'm taking is spawning me into another entire timeline, and I could truly live in an amazing one if I just choose the best actions. If I can sort of take hold of my, here's what I want to do in the moment, monkey brain, and say, here's what I want to do in the moment since I'm planning for the future. And that's a high tier vibe. People who think very long term tend to be better at controlling their vibes. But not to get too into that, I think it scared me for a while to one, my original thought was this is going to happen and it's going to be monumental in terms of a new world religion's going to spread and take hold. That was my original, okay, that's an inevitable future. Now I start running, can be referred to as idea mazes. It's a popular thing on Twitter or I feel the tech scene, the VC scene. Idea mazes to essentially show that you've spent a lot of time on this idea. And so people in VC are effectively trying to find the best hunters of the future, right? These are people who think about the future a lot, say, here's what it's going to look like, and then have enough conviction that they go and take the actions that they need in order to make that future happen. And so one clue you look for in terms of these types of people is, of course, the person who has spent more time thinking about it is going to be better on the subject. So specifically, you have, I was going to see if I can float while I speak. That would be fun. I'm just like a mouth above the water, just speaking. That's how I can do my monologues from now
Um, anyways, as I was saying, the reason I think that's important is because I in a sense like to figure out like why me? Why have I prepped myself in order to actually create the thing that spreads? You know? Because the implications of that is big. It's something I fear greatly. I'm like, I know I need to do this. I know I have to. But like this is going to be a weird life. Um, but I have to because I like morally have no choice. Um, and I don't think there's anything to be afraid of. In a sense, I just record that clip because what it helps do is I've been planning a leap forward for quite a long time. Sort of very much so like pulling back a slingshot. You take a long time on that. And what you do is you build up materials for that future. Now there's a balance to this. Some people go way too far on the deferred life plan, which is to say, you know, I'm going to do X and X and X in order to get to here. Which I think, you know, I could say I've been imbalanced, but that would be denying the beauty of everything I've experienced and the purpose of it. So that's not a thought pattern I will keep. See, like, religion and your vibe overall is a choice. That's what comes from your conscious. It's your choice on how to interpret everything that's happening. And you can always interpret it as a positive thing. So why wouldn't you? That's a top tier vibe. That's what people get when they're in deep faith. When they have the feelings of being the closest to God. So anyways, I'm gonna float for a little bit. I got my croc flotation devices. This is very, very useful for people like Andrew Tate or any big person who enters the entire kind of atmosphere of influence, because people are intrigued by the story of someone's influence and where it goes. They remain a character. They continue putting out good content on the world stage. And so for someone like a quick developing character like an Andrew Tate, his intrigue value of just his face goes up a bunch once he has already entered the scene. And I think it's also like a lottery right now for viral content. And he developed a method through which tons of people would post his content. So, lots more editors, lots of more chances, buying a ton of lottery tickets on the internet algorithm fare, which is the Instagram Reels, Spotlight, etc. And I'm thinking about all this because this obviously goes into what I was just talking about of spreading a global religion, ideology, and above that, above the ideology, and what an ideology turns into, is what Balaji wrote about, this digital network state. And by that I mean a wide collective of people who can push forward brand new, large ideas, who can influence the state of the world politics, they can set up their own political spheres, they can attack other political regimes. And right now, in the world, there is no political regime that is large, in charge, and in support. No one currently thinks any of the global powers are doing it right. Everyone's like, fuck them, fuck them, fuck them, fuck them, fuck them. And they're all being corrupt. Every single government is corrupt. And that's human nature. You can't give humans power. We are imperfect beings. We don't have a way for people like Gandhi to attain power, because the very act of climbing the ladder for power requires a certain mindset. So obviously, some of the best thinkers are just people who think in the shadows. So, the opportunity to create a larger world government, a new political party, is what you would do from a widespread world religion. Balaji called this the One Commandment. I just call it religion. The thing that we want to call that is New World Order. I'm having more thoughts as I think about things, talk about them. So in this pool, on this property, one of my thoughts is, how do we guarantee straight meat value? How do we absolutely make sure it goes crazy? How do we use large social experiments combined with a large amount of lottery tickets for the algorithm, combined with shock value coordination? You know, I don't think that someone's really maximized the value of attention yet. I think all of these influencers, it's so easy for them to make money, but they're also unoptimized at it. Because it's a different game. It's a game of attention. There's the game of accumulating attention, and there's the game of turning it into profit. If you maximize both sides, that's a powerhouse. And that's exactly what I've been thinking about for the past 6 years. You know, that's the difference about YouTube that people don't realize about TikTok. Is YouTube has different countries that you can post to. You actually get an entirely different channel. When it comes to TikTok, it's a global thing? No, it's still country-based. You just don't see the separation. They don't separate the subscriber counts. It's all the same database. They do separate who views the content. Now that I'm in Philippines, I go on TikTok, it is Philippines content. There's some leak over. Some stuff goes global. But it'll start in local spheres and basically just grow to towards its influence. What do you think, Paul? 20 people, editors. We have 20 cow costumes that we film just purely viral skits with, just to get the views. And then it's like, what is this? We have a flag that says Moo World Order around here. People read the transcript, which is deep. In fact, we make a video explaining what this whole concept is and what we're doing. We get people to support it. The main thing that Moo World Order is doing is going to be spreading a Holy Bible. We film skits where we travel around with books we print that say Holy Bible on them. Like, we make Bibles, basically, that say that. And we hand them to people. Oh, you know why it's so scary to do this? It's because the Bible talks about doing this. It's one of its defense mechanisms. All religions have defense mechanisms against, like, believing other things, right? Because that made them the strongest. And Christianity is, well, I don't know if this fits, honestly. You're probably right about why it doesn't fit. One of the big flaks that you might get is, I do know in Christian theology, they say that that is what's going to happen in the end of times, is that Satan, the Antichrist, spreads a new religion. And obviously you don't want to be the Antichrist. But even that is a ridiculous claim for myself to think of myself. Why would I be able to be such a powerful figure? And that would be powerfully bad. I would have to be so misconstrued. I just know it's a mind virus that we have to get over. I obviously think it's absolutely ludicrous that that claim will be made, but the claim will be made. And I guess it's not even worth thinking about now until the claim is made. Because that's like worrying about getting famous before you're fucking famous. Like, you know, that's a waste of time.